السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مساء الخير جميعا، جمعة مباركة على الجميع. حلقة جديدة خاصة من نيوكاسل مع وليد الموسم السابع، بحضور مجموعة من الأصدقاء الأعزاء المعروف بحبهم لنيوكاسل. طبعا صديق البرنامج كاوياني المشرف العام للنادي العربي القطري، وأيضا الأستاذ أبو عيسى برضو صديق البرنامج، سبق له الظهور في البرنامج في الصيف الماضي أيام قصص آيزك. نرحب فيكم. Lads and lasses, welcome to Newcastle with the وليد show, season 7. Tonight, I want to welcome Dr. Abu Isa, كاوياني. Welcome to the show.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم. جزاك الله خير. الله يبارك فيك. Delighted to be here with the two superstars, mashallah.
My pleasure.
السلام عليكم. And good to be with you guys again. خلاص, we're like family now. خلاص, يعني.
Exactly.
Friends,
yes.
We're just like family.
Yes,
now.
Gulf Lads. Actually, we have a group WhatsApp called Gulf Lads.
The Gulf Lads. Yeah.
Yeah. Today, I don't want to hear my voice. I'm sick of my voice. I talk too much. I want to hear you, lads. Let's start. Of course, the sponsor of this show is كاوياني. He sent us the topics we're going to talk about. But first, the title of the show, it's the rebuild joke. I want to start with this before going to the points. We keep hearing how and his gang, Craig Hope, etc., they're talking about rebuild. I want to ask you, lads, start with you, Dr. Abu Isa. What is rebuild? What is there to rebuild? We already built. Eddie, how already built the team? What is the rebuild in summer?
It's a very good question. I think it's very rhetorical. So like you said, now PIF, I think this is now year 5. Eddie Howe's been in post for more than 4 years. So yeah, I think it's a joke. Rebuild. Yani you don't rebuild after 4 years, right? You should be you lay the foundations in the first 2 years and then you progress and you build that. Like, if you build a burj, right? You build the foundations and then you keep building up. You don't keep knocking down the foundation and rebuilding the foundation. So from my opinion, I think this is one of the challenges we have, is that unfortunately a lot of the journalists like Craig, I call him No Hope, they are basically propaganda merchants for Eddie Howe. I think we should question why they're saying a rebuild. PIF Sheikh Yasser has given him 750 million to spend. So you would expect now not to be rebuilding, but to be progressing to the next stage of the project.
Exactly, Roy. What is there to rebuild? How to rebuild over rebuild itself?
It depends what they meant by rebuild. If you're rebuilding the squad, that means he knows he's done a bad job in the last 4 years. The players he bought are not good enough. The strategy is not fit for purpose, just like Paul Mitchell said. Or are you building the team? If you're building the team, that means the first thing you get rid of is the guy who bought these players, who's responsible for buying these players. You don't give this guy more money and doing it wrong and wrong and wrong again. For me once, shame on you. But for me twice, shame on me. And I don't see this is like, I don't know what I'm going to say in English, but in Arabic we call it إبرة تخدير. You're slowing things down and you're giving these people false hope of what's going to happen. And what are you going to do with Voltamada and Wisa and Elanga with the wasted money? Who's responsible for this? Are you going to play them? Is he going to play any of them tomorrow? Okay, I'll probably play Elanga, but other two, no. So I don't know. If you're building the squad, you're buying players. If you're building the team, you're getting rid of the coach. So I don't know what they mean by a rebuild. Rebuild means I took over from Mike Ashley. Yes. That's a rebuild. You had 4 years to build this without a foundation. It's like Doctor said, no foundation. You start building from the foundation, ground floor, mezzanine, first floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. With us, it just went second floor. And ترقيع يعني. I don't know what it's called. ترقيع. So I don't know. For me, if he stays next year, I'm not building my hopes up for anything. It's just going to be the same old thing.
We hear today press which was unusual, like not usual. Usually it's repeating, but we hear Eddie Howe talking about putting the woods and more fire to come tomorrow, maybe against Bournemouth. Is that behave of dead man walking, Dr. Abu Isa?
I think if you look at it from the mental health or mental state perspective, as being a psychiatrist, yani tabib nafsi, what I see from Eddie Howe and his coaching staff is dejection and very low self-esteem, which is transferring into the players. So, for example, the last game against, where we got absolutely destroyed, he put our elite players on the bench. We had, I think, more than 200 million worth of signings sitting on the bench. I think after 4 years, if you're putting Will Asula up front, there should be question marks. Why you paid 70 million for a German international striker? Roy and I followed the Bundesliga. To be playing as a number 9 for the national team, you have to be skillful. You cannot be some rubbish player. And I think what's a joke is that we're 14th in the Premier League and the German international for 70 million pounds is sitting on the bench. I think it's criminal the way he's being thrown under the bus by Eddie Howe, and the journalists are now scapegoating Nick Waltermada. There was a really interesting stat. I don't know if you saw Waleed and Roy. I think True Geordie did a video, and I think our best run was between November to maybe end of December. In 10 games, we achieved 20 points, and every game Nick Waltermada played. And then the following 10 games, we got, I think, 11 points when Nick was on the bench. So if you look at the data, because we are an evidence-based, data-driven club, surely somebody should be questioning Eddie Howe, like, why are you not playing Nick Waltermada up front? He's putting him in midfield when he's playing, and I think that's criminal. So to come back to your question, I think Eddie knows he's under pressure, and he's coming out swinging, but he's just, when managers lose confidence and are under pressure, they start saying stupid things, and he's delusional things. I think this is what he's saying, similar to what Trump is articulating. So for me, I think he's lost the dressing room. I don't think the players are playing for him. I don't know if you saw Tino arguing with the bench over the weekend. So everything is not good behind the scenes, and that's kind of spilling out into Eddie Howe's press conferences.
Yes, Dr. Base, things appear now to the surface. Roy, should we bring or St. James already have fire extinguisher? Because we are worried now about this fire about Eddie Howe talk about.
Yeah, we got used to his bullshit in press conferences. All this emotional stuff and sentimental things, just to get the fans going. I mean, one of my friends was Eddie Howe, and today he's like, "Oh, Roy, look at him. He looks like a dead man, and I feel sorry for him." And what? Don't feel sorry for somebody who makes £6.5 million a year. £6.5 million is about 35 million ريال. 35 مليون ريال راتبه في السنة. زين. Don't feel sorry for this guy.
With bonus is 9 million actually. With bonuses,
yeah, with
9 million.
bonuses and 9. So what is it? He's made about 27, 28 million. Multiply that by 5. Okay, so the guy's had like what, 100 million something real. Okay, or 130 million real. I don't feel sorry. Give me 100 million real now and fire me every day. Every day, fire me. Talk what you want. He's not doing his job. For me, if let's say he came up with this genius idea, Voltamada number 10 or left-sided 8, which he's done a few times now, and it worked, I will say, yeah, do what you want, do what you want. But it's not working. And he's repeating it again and again and again. That's the thing. If he's doing something and it's working, we don't mind. But it's not working. The results are not there. The performance is not there. The players' attitude looks negative. Tonali, Gordon, Tino Livramento. Like tomorrow, I wouldn't even play Gordon or Tino. 100%. I wouldn't start those two. Tino doesn't want to renew, So just tell him, look, you know, mate, we've got 6 games left. The season's over. I'm playing Trippier. I'm preparing myself for life without you. Gordon thinks he's gone beyond this club. Don't play him. Halas, get ready for Bayern Munich. Did you watch Bayern Munich against Real Madrid and Diaz? Wallah al-Azim. Wallahi, I'm swearing. Gordon compared to Diaz on the left. Mercedes compared to Tersil. Gordon had True Geordie said something. He had like 3 assists and 1 goal from open play in a year. Guys, the stats is horrendous. So he goes and plays Karabakh. Karabakh is on the level of like teams in Asia. It's nothing. So he scores like 4 goals against them. He takes the penalties and all this stuff. And wow. And suddenly our fans are believing he's going to Bayern Munich. Come on. And the numbers are crazy, like 80 million. He's not going for 80 million.
But Roy, where will he play in Bayern Munich? They have wonderful wingers. He will be a squad player.
Yeah, squad. And I don't think Bayern will go and pay 80 million for somebody on the bench. That's not the way they operate. 100%. They'll not operate like this.
I think Liverpool maybe be in the race.
Yeah, maybe Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool is like another level. Yeah, another level down. For me, I don't care. Guys, we won the League Cup last year without him. And we had a nice run of 5-6 games of winning without him. So I know Barnes doesn't look easy on the eye like Gordon. He doesn't have the pace. But when he's there and playing, and even in October, November, Gordon wasn't playing. Barnes was doing the job. And he was nominated for Premier League Player of the Month.
Yes.
Gordon comes back. Suddenly, Barnes is off. So I don't know. This is up to the coach, not me. At the end. But I know visually, Gordon looks better. He's faster. He's got a bit of something about him there, but there's no end product. I'd rather have Sam Maxima.
But Barnes is a better finisher. Harvey Barnes is clinical. If you look at the data, again, I'm a data guy. If you look at the data, Al-Walid, I think he scored, 2 Premier League goals in 12 months with maybe 3 assists. Yani, how is that a world-class player? And he's refused. Yeah, penalties, okay. But he's refusing to play also. He only wants to play on the left. So Eddie Howe has his favorite, which has a negative impact on the squad. And where are the youth players? Yani, the Korean boy, he's doing well in the under-21s. He played in the, in the preseason. Leo Shahar. I wouldn't play Trippier. I'd play Leo Shahar. And Sean Neve. Where's Sean Neve? Yani, if you're not going to play Walter Mada, give Sean Neve a chance.
If you remember last season, he wasn't even giving Osula a chance, and he was playing Wilson, who we all knew he was leaving. And some games we're winning 4-1 and 10 minutes left. Let the kid play, and he brings Wilson on. It's repeated, guys. It's repeated, and he's not going to change. There's no way he's going to change. Ask my ex-wife. He's not going to change. This guy. It's the same. Right. You can't change leopard skin, whatever it's called.
Yeah. So. The definition of insanity is to repeat the same process, expecting a different outcome.
Yeah. Exactly.
By the way, guys, do you know? I was looking at the table. You know how many games we've lost this season?
In the league, 14.
14 games out of 32 Premier League games.
In the league, yeah.
In the top 15, we've lost the most number of games. You know, Bournemouth, how many games they've lost? 7. We've lost double the number of games of Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yani, how is that justifiable? How is that justifiable? It's criminal.
All right, let's go to the heavy stuff. Roy, where do you think things went wrong this season? How? Transfer window, PIF, CEO, management, all the above.
Yeah. For me, there's something that somebody was not being honest about Isaac in the summer. So I think they did tell him you can go or something. Something happened. There's no way there's no way he's going to come up with all this stuff without something that's happened behind the scenes. So this is the first one. Second thing, you knew he was going to go. We all, basically by beginning of August, we all knew he's going. And no action. Yeah, we're going to hang on. We're going to try this. We tried this. From the first game against Celtic, there should have been action done against this kid. If you're not coming to fly with us to Far East Asia, you're getting penalties from now, and hang him to dry in the media. But he's injured, he's got a hamstring, he didn't have anything. So this is the first mistake. Second mistake is all technical stuff on the pitch. I'm not going to blame Isaac when we are 1-0 up in halftime in 7-8 games, and then we lose in the second half. This has got nothing to do with Isaac, nothing to do with PIF, nothing to do with anybody except for one man, the coach. He's playing high intensity. It's unsustainable. This football is unsustainable. We can go in a cup run, 2-3 games, yalla, and boom, go. Morocco, like in World Cup 2022, boom. 2 weeks, go crazy. It goes. The FA League Cup last season, boom. Arsenal, Liverpool final. We can do this. But if you ask him to go in a league in 3, 4 months, 5 months in a row and sustain this high intensity, he can't do it for one half now. And if you go check all the proper pundits, not the Craig Hopes and I don't know the ones that we have in the Northeast, the proper ones, they'll all tell you his style of football is unsustainable. You watch the first 10-15 minutes, boom. يعني خلص petrol, finish the petrol in the first half. Second half, no legs. And then he used the excuse of we had the fixtures, we're playing 2 games a week. Okay, I'll believe it until last week. So Palace plays on Thursday. We had 3 weeks off, or 2.5 weeks off. Palace plays on Thursday. We go 1 up, and then they beat us. So that has nothing to do with 2 games a week, fatigue. It's got your tactics. It's the same. So watch the Sunderland game. Same. Copy paste. You get both games, put them on top of each other. It's copy paste. This is the coach. And who's gonna judge this guy? Somebody needs to sit with him and ask him the right questions. What's happening? What was this? What's this? I can't go and blame. This game was Dan Burns' fault. This game, Liverpool's fault. This game, Botman's fault. No, they're all your fault because it's 25 points dropped from winning position. This is in the league. In the Champions League, we dropped 5. We dropped 1 against Marseille. We dropped 3 against Marseille and 2 against Bayer Leverkusen. We're winning and we drew. So that's 5. That's 30 points this season. If you add the Chelsea game in the cup, we lost. Was it 3-1 in the cup? I think it was 3-1. We went 1-0 up, lost 3-1 in the cup. Nobody's adding these numbers, but it's the same. So if you add the Champions League games, we lost. How many we lost? In the group stage, we lost twice. And then we lost to Barca, 7. So that's 3. And we lost 3 games against City. So that's 6. Add them to the 14 in league. We lost 20 games this season in total. All competitions. Including some thrashing, like 7. عيب. صراحة عيب. 7. Yeah. And my worst day, I would have thought, and it's the same. First half, wow. You go with your head up and think, wow, we're competing here. I don't mind. We lose 3-2. 4-2, no problem. 7. And then you look at the pitch. It took him 15-20 minutes to realize what's happening.
Roy, after the 7 of Barcelona, there is no backlash, no defined for the team dignity by the team, which usually happen after big result, big defeat. Why you think is that?
Because في مثل إن لم تستحي فافعل ما شئت. He's not getting judged. So the next game, the big bounce, Sunderland. 1-0 up, same. And I don't know. I don't have any explanation. Some people say, we hit the post, and your team is better than this. Our squad is miles better. Not just the 11. The 11 and the bench is miles better than Sunderland. And they're above us, and they beat us twice. This is enough sacking. Anybody, Rafa Benitez, Pardew, any of our coaches that we had will get slated for this, except this guy. He's protected. I don't know. The first Sunderland game was enough for me. The first one, away. We didn't have a shot till 70 minutes, 75 minutes, something like that. عيب يعني. And this is the biggest game we had. Like before the takeover, we had nothing. So the only thing we look forward to is this derby. And funny thing, last time we beat them in a derby was in 2011. My son was like 1. He's about to graduate from school. Yeah, and how long is this?
Yeah.
Wallah, it's shit. Wallah, it's unbelievable. And this 2 games was the worst one. Under McLaren, we lost, but we were unlucky in some games, and under Pardew, under Carver, whoever, McLaren, anybody. So some unlucky ones. But these 2 were the worst 2 games. The performance was the worst. It was disgraceful. So, I don't know. And then 7. So, the whole Champions League campaign, okay, the money's good. The money side is good because we'll make almost 40 million or something.
This is a
But yeah, we do. But Alan, it's 25 points. It's 8 games.
It's a record, by the way, in the Premier League.
Yeah, and then by the way,
yeah.
Bournemouth, he lost 21 or 22. Is it 1 or 2? I think it's 21. That season he got relegated was 21.
Yeah.
I think somebody from the Bournemouth fans told me on Twitter. So that relegation season was the same, and he was sticking to his guns. He wouldn't change anything, and he was sticking to the older players at the time that he had, and they went down. Similar. The only thing is, we're lucky that we had a nice little run in October, November, and we collected some points. Otherwise, we'll be in the same trouble now.
Great, Roy. Dr. Abu Isa, same question. Where do you think things went wrong this season? How transfer window, PIF, CO, management, all the above?
Just to add, I think actually Al-Walid, things started going wrong last season. If you look at our form, even last season, and our performances, especially after we won the cup, we played terrible football. But it was kind of like, because we were in the euphoria of winning our first trophy after how many years. If you actually analyze the games after the cup final, we played terrible football. So there was already warning signs. When you're on an airplane and the airplane starts malfunctioning, you get warning signs. So the warning signs were already there, but nobody really. You see the top elite managers, like if you look at Pep Guardiola, some of the angriest I've seen him is when his team is winning like 5-0 or 6-0, because he identifies weaknesses in the team and he gets upset about it, right? But we are the opposite. If we're winning, we get so happy we don't identify our weaknesses. So I think at the end of last season, the warning signs were there. And then the summer was, I think, really terrible. Obviously, we lost Mitchell before the summer, which, again, I think is down to Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe has this ego where he wants to control everything at the club. And he didn't get on with Mitchell because Mitchell was, I think, questioning some of his decision-making around recruitment. He said it's not fit for purpose, right? And if you look at Mitchell's record in terms of recruitment, he recruited brilliant players for other teams. So he has a track record, he has a credibility. So things started going wrong at that point. And then over the summer, PIF actually backed Eddie Howe. They gave him £250 million. I don't know any other club who spent at our level. Obviously, Liverpool spent, 500 million? But I think Eddie Howe had...
We are the fourth in spending.
Yeah, subhanAllah, and people make excuses for Eddie Howe, or he makes excuses that I have PSR restrictions, but 250 million, this is a lot of money. If you look at what Glasner, who's going to win his second trophy, maybe for Crystal Palace, he spent hardly any money. Unai Emery, how much has he spent? I think he spent 50 million in the summer, maybe less. So he was backed by PIF. And then I don't know what happened with the recruitment. For example, Ilanga, do you really think he's a £50 million player? He had one good season for Nottingham Forest. The fact that he was let go by Manchester United and no other team was in for Ilanga. Eddie Howe wanted him for 2 seasons. I think Jacob Ramsey was actually a decent signing. I like Jacob Ramsey, but he's not been given a chance. And then Nick Waltemada is German international. Bayern Munich wanted him. We were negotiating and fighting with Bayern. So he was a top player. Wissa, I don't know why we paid 55 million for a 29-year-old. Again, I don't know. This was a bad decision. But khair, I think overall, he spent 250 million. He should have been able to at least get a team. We finished 5th last season, so minimum requirement should have been 5th, if not 4th. After so much investment. And then what happened, I think the whole Isak situation, I do blame Eddie Howe partly because he came across and said, I have not spoken to him. So there was a vacuum where Isak, your star player, you're not even speaking to him. Yes, Isak has a lot of blame attached to him in terms of his conduct. But as a manager, like if I have my star doctor working in my clinic and he's wanting to leave, I would sit with him and speak to him and try and encourage him. And I think Sheikh Yasser, he came towards the end and he went and met with Isak. Why was Eddie Howe not speaking to Isak and finding out what the situation was? But khair, I think we were discussing in the group with Roy. We have a group, Al-Walid, like Iraola at Bournemouth. He's lost so many of his top players. Glasner at Crystal Palace has lost so many of his top players. But top managers, they get on with it, sir. They adapt and they. If you can only work with one player in your team, that means you're not a very good manager. And then what's happened is that he's been found out, and his unwillingness to change, to adapt, to be flexible, always playing 4-3-3, the same players, taking a right winger off, bringing a right winger on, taking a striker off, bringing a striker on, lack of flexibility.
My favorite song.
Yeah, your favorite song. And, you look at, for example, against Marseille, De Zerbi, he changed the formation, he changed the personnel to fit against our, strengths. And they got the result. So Eddie Howe's stubbornness, refusal to change, refusal to accept any accountability, I think these are all factors that unfortunately have resulted in a disaster. And plus the cult, what Roy was saying. Actually, Al-Walid, I want to ask you, in any organization, you have accountability, sah? And I know from working in the Middle East that Saudis and Emiratis and Qataris, they're very harsh when it comes to asking for your performance. I have performance appraisals as a doctor, and I have KPIs that I need to meet. I have monthly meetings. And if I'm not achieving my KPIs, I have performance improvement targets and a plan. Why is nobody asking Eddie Howe about these results and these performances and benching your star players? What do you think, Al-Walid? Why is there no accountability?
Of course there is accountability, but I believe they take the whole investment or the takeover of Newcastle as a long term, and they say that already, the owners, Jimmy Robin, they will make it like the long run. They are not in a hurry, and the thing affect that is the PSR and SCR now in the next season. So there will be no rush because there is a lot of obstacles. So they take it as slowly as needed because these rules. If there is no rules,
with Eddie, why is Eddie not being questioned about his the performances and the results?
We see Hopkinson says he will be questioned at the end of the season. They don't want to sudden sacking of the Howe, I believe. So they will have time at the end of the summer, maybe reach an agreement because there will be a release. There will be, of course, a fine or he will take the release clause if he been sacked.
Yeah.
So they take the time, and maybe they think this is a test also for Eddie Howe, test for him because he never been in his career under this kind of a pressure. We all have pressure on Eddie Howe. So which this leads me to the second question, is if he reach the top 8 or qualify to Europe, one of the European leagues, do you think he deserves to stay next season?
Just before I answer that question, when Man United sacked Amorim, we were 6th and Man United was 7th. Yeah. And they got Carrick, and now what position are they, Roy? They're 3rd.
Third.
So
And
this.
how many points?
Yeah.
14,
I think
15 points ahead.
15 points ahead of us. So I think this thing about not sacking a manager mid-season, I think this is a myth. I think and the proof is in the pudding. Look at how Man United have improved. You can recruit managers mid-season. But anyway, in terms of repeat your question, Al-Walid.
If we get top 8 or qualify to Europe, should he stay? Deserve to stay? Yeah.
For me, no. Even if we get top 8 and get Europe, it's not just about finishing position. It's about performances. It's about progression. It's about squad development, youth development, style of play. Yani, I can maybe count on one hand the amount of performances that I enjoyed this season. So I think as a club, if we want to progress, if we want to improve our brand, I mean, I think going back to Barcelona, losing 8-3 on aggregate, that should have been a sackable offense. The whole world was watching, Champions League. Nobody knows much about Newcastle. So in terms of reputational damage, brand damage, I think that's really damaged us. If you're a player in Spain and you're thinking of coming to the Premier League, if Newcastle approach you, what's the kind of reference point? Is the 8-3 defeat by Barcelona? So to answer your question, I think the nature of defeats and the nature of style of play, for me, even if he finishes 6th, I think he needs to be sacked, and we need to move to the next level with an elite manager who plays possession-based football, who's able to manage 2-3 games per week. He gives the youth development a chance. Because I think Eddie Howe, he's reached his level. He's not going to achieve much more, in my opinion.
Brilliant, Dr. Abu Isa. Funny, I'm laughing at Alan comment. Of course, we're going to take some questions. Please, if you have any question for Roy or Dr. Abu Isa, we will going to answer it, inshallah. Alan here says the donkey hit the wall one time. I believe this is something related to or similar to the broken watch goes right twice a day. But this is better version of this quote. Roy, did he have deserved to stay if he qualify or top 8 to Europe?
I don't. First of all, I don't hate him. I have nothing personal against the guy. I met
no,
him
I didn't say you are hate him or not.
I know, yeah. But
I like Eddie Howe. We all like Eddie Howe, but we feel that he give enough. He give what he has.
Yes.
Okay, he said today fire, right? All I want is to see the team performing. Let's say we have 6 games now. He changes everything. No more Eddie Howe football, all this stuff. If I see a change between now and end of the season, and we get to Europe with a new brand of football, Eddie stays. But it will not happen.
But Roy, even if we get tomorrow, if we get loose, for example, or we will say next 5 games, next 4 games. It's gonna be
to get to Europe. I think we should get at least 5 wins, at least.
Roy, even if that happens, would you still be happy for him to be manager next season?
No. We're not going to win unless he changes how we play. And he's not going to change how we play. So we're not going to Europe unless a miracle happens, but this is not the time for miracles. So it's not going to happen. And I can see 3-4 teams above us playing better football. Bournemouth are better than us. Palace are better than us. So
Sunderland.
Brentford, Brentford. Yeah. Everton even. Everton's up and down. But I see these 4, they have games too. It's not just us. So we might win 3-4 games. These guys win 3-4 games. We're still not going to catch up. It's too late. And top 6 is almost booked. So we're 6 points from Chelsea. So if Chelsea win 3 games or 4 games, we'd have to win all of them. And the goal difference is...
I think the maximum we get is the Conference League. Before we go to next topic, which is going to be exciting.
Actually, Conference League, you know what?
Conference League.
No, I'll change my... Europe or no Europe, out. Yeah, khalas. Because I'll give the job to somebody else. Because next season we'll play in Europe. And he's going to have... If we get to UEFA...
Same excuse. Yeah.
Conference League and Europa League means most of your games are going to be on Sundays, not Saturdays. So Tuesday, Saturday, or Thursday, Sunday. So he's going to have a smaller gap. Teams suffer more. He doesn't rotate. We played a couple of easy games in in the Champions League. We played Karabakh. Second 6-1. Second game, put the kids on. He doesn't. We played a couple of championship teams in the League Cup and I can't remember. No kids. He doesn't do it. He's not going to do it.
Look,
You can't
Roy,
change a leopard skin or the dog's tail.
look,
Translating it from English.
Roy predicts the future, which is very true. This will happen. Before we go to the exciting topic, let's take one of the questions, please. If you have a question, let's have it here. Okay, why Eddie Howe can't work in team? The club should have right appoint roles within club, and Eddie Howe should work with them. Eddie Howe is only the coach, and he shouldn't force the club any position. To be honest, I didn't get the question. Anyone get it and want to answer it?
Yeah, I think he's like doing Arsene Wenger and Ferguson kind of thing, like running the club instead of just coaching.
I think
it's
related to having one man having too much power. If you look at the modern elite football teams, even teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, the head coach is an employee of the club and he has a specific role with specific parameters. Other roles, for example, you have director of football, you have the CEO, you have head of recruitment. You work as a team. And I think what he's saying is Eddie Howe, and it's proven by the fact that, two directors of football left because of Eddie Howe, Mitchell.
Is that why, Dr. Abu, I notice when I'm on X most of the time, some accounts saying, calling Eddie Howe dictator. A dictator. Is it because of this, or you think?
I think so. I think he has a big ego. He comes across as very nice. Again, it's nothing personal. We don't hate an individual, but the club is bigger than any individual. Even if this was Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola. I mean, Pep Guardiola's got so much criticism from his fans, and he is an elite manager. So no manager is immune from criticism. This is constructive criticism. But Eddie Howe, for me, as a sports psychiatrist, he has a very big ego, and he's not a team player. He comes across as very innocent and very nice, but he's ruthless. And the nepotism really annoys me. His nephew, how can you have his nephew playing such a big role in terms of recruitment? That to me shows that he doesn't want to work as a team and he wants ultimate power. And I think even Graham Jones had an altercation with Eddie Howe recently around tactics and formation. So he wants yes people. Tyndall, his best friend. I think the Celtic job, I don't know, Al-Walid, he refused to take the Celtic job because Celtic said you can't bring your Tyndall as your assistant coach. They wanted to keep some of their own coaches, and he refused to go there. So I think he wants too much power. He's not a team player, in my opinion.
The issue you mentioned about Graham Jones and Tyndall and how related, as I heard, there is a suggestion maybe by Howe to bring a set-piece coach. Have you heard about that?
We have a set-piece coach. He brought a set-piece coach at the beginning of the season.
So he causing the issue as that's what I heard.
He brought him and we got worse. Our set pieces got worse. SubhanAllah.
We don't score any and we concede a lot.
I will ask this question, but sorry, Dr. Waisa, maybe you didn't like the answer, but maybe Roy. I just read also that Tyndall opened a wine bar yesterday, or new branch of wine bar. Does that mean they planning to staying for long, Roy?
Yeah, these guys get like 100,000. Well, he won't. He's not going to be in this. Yeah, so they just make more money and mal haram should sell back.
All right. Realistically,
I hope he's got fish and chips and Coke Zero.
All right. Who the next manager you wish, Roy, to be in Newcastle? The gaffer, the new gaffer. Who you want him to be?
I have three. My heart, I'm going to go my brain and my heart, but I've got three. I've got Glasner, Areola, and Mourinho. This is the three. I know Fabregas is never going to come. I think they've got this Arsenal thing. I know that's the doctor's one, but I've got a feeling he's going there. So I'm just gonna go 3. My brain wants Glasner, and my heart wants Mourinho, and Ariola's bit in the middle between. If you want to watch football entertainment, it would be Ariola, and it'll be Keegan-esque football. And
but Roy, Ariola, is he? I'm afraid he will be another Eddie Howe version of the matter that he can't. I'm expecting that he didn't train stars or big names. It will be an issue.
No, I don't think so. At least he knows where to put the players in the right position. You'll never see Voltemade playing midfield with him. والله ناصر الجوهر ما يحطه في النص. Come on.
في نصر الجوهر مدرب كبير يا روي.
أدري. أقول لك يعني our level, you'll not see this happening. Even the Qatari league. No way this guy, any coach will take somebody like Voltemade, 6'7", midfield 10. Come on.
Tallest midfielder in history.
Yeah, and the problem is some games it's not even 10. They say 10 when you see the Sky Sports formation before the game or he's behind us, but the game starts and you see him on the left. So he's one of the 3, Eddie's wife 4-3-3, and he's in the left side, which actually that position should be Tonali. Tonali's the one who should be on the left side of that middle 3, because that's where he's playing with Italy. Italy's 4-1-4-1, but he's on the left-sided 4 in the center and advance. He doesn't see the bahna. I don't know. I can't do anything. Guys, because we talk and we do formations and we suggest stuff. And tomorrow the game kicks off at 5, Doctor 6 o'clock, and we see the same rubbish. We can't do anything. And the game will finish, and the fans are split into 2. People like us will say, "We told you so. This is it. And then you get the happy clappers. You're not loyal.
You know what I hate when we lose? I saw some fans pointing to stupid stuff. Look, Yusuf give his shirt. Look, he smiled. He laughing. They ignore the main problem or the main issue.
Yeah. This is. In the World Cup, Iran played USA, and the players are hugging each other and they're exchanging shirts. This happened. But why did you? They changed. All the players, every single player, if you go to his house, he's going to have a huge box full of 300 shirts that he's exchanged over the career. So this is nothing.
The reason they make these excuses, Al-Walid, is distraction from the elephant in the room, which is Eddie Howe. They don't want to criticize Eddie Howe.
The dinosaur in the room. No, it's not the elephant.
So they make excuses, or it was this, we should have had a penalty, or the referee was rubbish, or Yani, come on, every club can make the same excuse. You didn't ask me about my 3.
I'm about to. Your candidate.
Go with heart, brain, and medium.
Okay. So my number 1 choice, because as a club, especially if we want to match the ambition of PIF and Hopkinson, which is to be challenging for the number 1 spot by 2030, for me, I need somebody who has charisma, who has credibility, who is tactically aware. And for me, it has to be Cesc Fabregas. I know Roy is saying that there's no way he will come, but we have to aim for the best.
I hope so.
And I don't know, Al-Walid, if you watched Como this season, they're playing unbelievable football. He's very innovative. His formations are very innovative. And the way he speaks, that he sees football in an attacking sense. And he's been educated at the Barcelona Academy under Arsene Wenger. He's had the top managers. He's learned from the best. And people are speaking very highly of him. So if we could get somebody like
Fabregas, I remember he was 20 years old and he is the captain in Arsenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the way he speaks, I don't know if I would recommend watching his tactical speeches. And he gives youth a chance. If you look at the Como team, they're very young players. And we need somebody who can take our project to the next level. He's young enough to progress. And you know, if Cesc Fabregas walks into the room, all young players will listen to him. Yani he's a winner. I know in terms of management, he's still young, but you can see the progression. You can see his path. So for me, number one, if we could get Cesc Fabregas. Number two, I would go for Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso, he's available. And I heard that Liverpool are going to stick with Slot. Xabi Alonso, what he achieved with Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, he won the Bundesliga playing attacking football. He knows the Premier League. You know, he'd be able to attract top players. And then number three for me, Jose Mourinho. Yani Jose Mourinho, I love Jose Mourinho. I know people are very critical of him, but he's a winner again. And for us as a club, we need somebody, because we are not going to be in Europe next season. So if Jose Mourinho picks up the phone, yalla, come to Newcastle. Yani, come on. Any player will want to play for Jose Mourinho. He can elevate the standard of a club as a brand ambassador. Give him a 2-year contract, then send him upstairs as a director of football. He can go around the world promoting the club, increasing our revenues, and working with the next coach. So those are my 3 picks.
And you know, with Mourinho, you can let him run the club.
Exactly.
Mourinho can be the Arsene Wenger. Mourinho can be the Alex Ferguson. How can't be these guys? He's nowhere near. How, coach? You just watch the kids, train them, match day. Nothing to do with the rest.
Plus Mourinho doesn't take any nonsense from players. Yani, can you imagine Gordon saying to Mourinho, I can only play on the left? Yani, he'll punch him and kick him out of the club.
I mean, you see, Mourinho had a clash with Maxi, because Maxi came back from, I can't remember which break it was, and he was overweight. He was doing the same. When he went to Fenerbahce, he went to Fenerbahce and Mourinho was there. He stopped playing it. Lose weight. He's fat. He wouldn't lose weight. And then Maxi was like playing the media like he was doing with us, because with us he was doing the same thing with Bruce. And then he went to Mexico, didn't work out. He went back to France now.
Maximin, he was just doing a great, injured whole season and come back as a hero, winning last 2 games, and help the team from getting relegated, and he's the hero. Things changed on him after the takeover. Regarding Fabregas,
what about you, Al-Walid?
Yeah, I will, of course. I'm with Mourinho, but I want to comment on Fabregas. My afraid in Fabregas or Alonso. First, they are not guaranteed. Of course, nothing. كل بمشيئة الله ما في شيء. Nothing be guaranteed. But you want to take the best option that you believe and supported with evidence and history, which is for me is Mourinho. But Fabregas and Alonso, they still just retired. They're still young, I believe. I don't know if the time passed much, but I think the situation. Who bring usually this kind of coach who's just retired? The teams like Bayern mentioned, they already bring big names. They already well structured. They give a chance of a new maybe model of football. But I think we're still beyond. We need basics. We need someone to take Newcastle to the next level, as you mentioned. That's why I'm not much care for Fabregas. It's just opinion, after all, or Alonso. In addition, Fabregas, if he win, for example, he came to Newcastle. If he wins 3 games, you will hear Arsenal want him. Same thing with Alonso. If you win 3 games, Liverpool thinking about him. But if you get Mourinho, nobody will take Mourinho. I believe Mourinho is the one for the job. I talk, if you see my account in X, I talk him about all the time, because I know he's the best one now for Newcastle. Not later, not before. Now is the right time. But if I'm thinking, I'm trying to reading the owners, the PIF, the mentality of Newcastle, I can see, my guess they are going for a surprise name. I don't think PIF, I don't think they will just, most of the fans want Mourinho, let's get Mourinho. I don't think they work this way. They will have interviews. What's your project? They're running the Newcastle as a company. I'm not saying it's wrong, but this is how they are. So I believe he's going to be a name we didn't expect.
Really?
But for me, I want Mourinho. I want Diego Simone. I know it's impossible. He's taking 30 million, I believe.
Yeah,
It will affect the SSR. This is not going to happen. Third choice, actually, I don't have any third choice.
Can I ask, with Mourinho, do you like his style of play? It's very defensive.
Okay, but if you go to, and I think most of the fan of football knows that. Look to version of Inter Milan, for example, how Inter Milan was beating every team in Europe, not with defense only. Real Madrid, he made the 2014 backing to Champions League.
Even Man United, he got
exactly.
Them second.
Yes, and he said this is best achieve for him in his career. He need tools. The problem with Mourinho is you need to understand Mourinho before you bring him. You will give him the tools. Some teams like Fenerbahce or Tottenham, they want miracle. Okay, Mourinho, come win us something.
He got them to the final, and they fired him before the final.
But he need tools. Give him what he needs. Not just bring him and expect to win without give him what he need. Also, bad. I'm thinking about Hopkinson. I'm not really. I don't want to be very fast in judgment. Hopkinson, I don't know. I don't think he wants. The management in general, I don't think they want someone tough. Maybe a yes man coach preferred. Mourinho, he's tough person to deal with. So I don't think this is gonna. They would think more than twice in this. I can't go long for hours, but I don't want to.
Can I ask? Can I ask Al-Walid, what are the rumors in Saudi about Newcastle in terms of managers?
Same with everyone now with social media. No special things. They all mention the same names. No specific. And also the surprise, maybe how it stays. This will also be another shock. Hopefully not. Fourth question we have now. Three of us are how out. We agree on that. Have you had a backlash from some of the fans? Yet a lot are entitled and obviously not very intelligent. Roy, what is that, Roy?
Let me explain two types of fans I face. So I've got the face-to-face ones, which is my friends, Doha Mags, and people around me and supporters that I know. Then I've got the online ones that you never met. So I've got some this way, some in, some out. The ones that don't, I'm going to go and talk about the ones who don't know me and the ones on X. As soon as you say anything about how, I'm going to go with the happy clappers. You're a foreigner, brown skin, you've never been to St. James's Park, you don't have to go support Chelsea or go support Man City. I've never insulted Newcastle United. I've never insulted our structure of the club or anything. I just want the coach out. He's an employee. All clubs do it. Everybody do it. These guys have turned into a cult. It's almost sick cult. That as soon as somebody criticizes, they just attack you personally with borderline racism, or it's unacceptable. But
Roy, they are the same group. They are going to any account saying a thing about how.
Yeah. There's 5 or 6. There's a couple of girls I know online. I can't remember the names of the accounts, but there's about 10-15 of them. They've just the bub. It's like artificial flies. They're just going everywhere. And no. You're a plastic fan. You're a foreigner. You only started supporting after the takeover. You've never been to Newcastle. You've never been to the match. Plastic. Oh, that one guy was talking about how much the money. Remember we started calculating the money.
Yeah, this is the fifth question.
Yeah.
Is you call the pay?
Yeah, we'll go.
We are the paying fan. He think because he got 900 or 800 season tickets that he is allowed to talk. Not us. We leave when just a flight to Newcastle, it cost us a whole season ticket.
Yeah, but you know me. I always fight back. But at the beginning, I always say, okay, you want how to stay. I want how out. So I say I want him out because of 1, 2, 3, this, facts, numbers, statistics, and I put it. What they come back with? Oh, he's done all the past stuff. I'm not. For what he's done, thank him very much. When I see him, I'm going to give him biggest kiss on his cheek and on his forehead. When I see him, thank you very much, Mr. Howe. But for what he's done this season, I'm not even going to mention the last season, April, May, because the problems were happening then. Go watch Everton, last game of the season, copy paste, same maskhara. I'm criticizing him for this year. You not do okay. I have a company and I hired this guy as a general manager. The company was making great money. 2025 is losing money because of him. What am I going to do? I have to fire somebody and get a new manager to run the company. I get a new manager, get rid of this guy and get a new manager. Otherwise, I'm going to go bankrupt. This is how you deal with it. So this is why. But anyway, back to the same point. So when I put points, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is what I want him out. The answer is always sentimental. Nothing with facts. I just ask the question, what do you think he's going to do to change things? Just give me an example. What's he going to do? Is he going to go put Voltemada back up front? What's he going to do? Is he going to change the football, change the formation? Nothing. Same. He's not going to change. The tail of the dog doesn't go straight. I translated the leopard's skin. Yeah. So there you go. So. Yeah, we'll talk about the money next one. Anyway, yeah, Doctor Dora, your turn.
Go on, Doctor.
Yeah, I think things have become very toxic, Al-Walid. Myself and Roy are in the same groups. We came on some channels and we got attacked. So being a psychiatrist, in any aspect of discussions, if we have difference of opinion, it should always be respectful. And it should be evidence-based, right? It should be rational. Yani, if I might have a different point of view, we're human beings, we have different points of view. But when we have a debate, it should be based on evidence, data, and rational discussions. When people become irrational or emotional, then that means they don't have the evidence to back up what their opinion is. So they go to personal ad hominem attacks. Yeah. And this is what's happening in the fan base, that we are identifying issues with the management style, and instead of addressing those issues, they start attacking the individual, which shows us a weakness of character. Yeah. And this is the situation, and unfortunately it becomes so toxic, and it's all emotional arguments. Oh, he won us the Carabao Cup. Oh, we finished in the Champions League 2 seasons. Okay, yes, we accept that, but we don't live in the past, we move to the future. Claudio Ranieri, he won the Premier League with Leicester. Yani, this is once in a lifetime kind of achievement. And the following season, he got sacked. Why? Because the results were not good enough. Yani, football is not an emotional, it's rational. And if you want to progress, we have to move forward. Even Mourinho's been sacked. Yani, he's achieved so much. Nobody's beyond criticism or being sacked. And unfortunately, what myself and Roy have faced is that fans just want to live in the past. They always go back to when under Ashley we were rubbish. But under Steve Bruce, what position we finished? Do you know the last season? We finished 12.
12, the second one, yeah.
So, and Steve Bruce, he was getting crucified every match. He didn't have the same money that Eddie Howe's received. So it's become like a cult. Jefferson, our friend, he says it's a cult. A cult is where you follow the individual irrespective of any weaknesses, or they cannot see, what the weaknesses are. So this is a situation, and they're going around attacking everyone. But when Eddie Howe leaves, they'll follow Eddie Howe to whichever club he goes. Yeah,
I hope so.
We are Newcastle United. We're not Eddie Howe FC.
Great. And in addition, I believe if, for example, Mourinho came, same people, they will be with Mourinho. It just
I don't think it'll be the same. But I don't think it'll be the same.
Because he's a foreigner. He's a foreigner.
Yeah, he's foreigner. If he was English, it'll be different.
Yeah, but same with Rafa. I remember Rafa days and during the takeover, Rafa, we went Rafa. Now they're saying Rafa is not good for us. For me,
Rafa,
this is
Rafa had no money. That's the thing.
This is maybe number more than 1,000 show I did. It's 7 years of the shows, and I get a lot of criticism. But I not maybe let's say 6th season. I was the nice guy from Saudi Arabia with a good comment and a nice person. But since I tried, because I try to be honest with the fans and the subscribers and the followers. When I say my opinion maybe changed, because the opinions change. Yeah. And because we are talking about what we're saying. We notice now how exposed, we notice all the negative parts we talk about. So when I start to criticize how, I receive a lot, and also when I criticize, I'm still doing it nicely. But when you say a comment, they didn't like the trolls, they give me the worst names ever. The C word, the F word, a lot of words. It just for me it doesn't affect me at all, because I get used to this. But it just because sometimes you didn't know who's behind this account. Is he a kid? Does he have mental issues? Is he drunk or whatever? So for me, I try to ignore it because that doesn't it's not making any sense, and we have to be. But you see, if you are, that's the problem. I think we face it a lot. If you are not agree with me, you are my enemy.
Yeah.
So this is it's endless.
Yeah.
It is.
But this is a unique situation. Myself and Roy, I've lived in Manchester. I've been to Manchester City. I've been to United, the grounds. The fan base can be toxic, but not to this extreme level. I don't know, Roy. You followed myself and you. I've been following Newcastle since the early 90s under Keegan. It's never been this toxic. I don't know what Eddie Howe has done some sihr or what. It's so toxic. Roy?
Yeah, there's the difference between now and from 20 something years ago, like 2003, 4, 5, whatever. I go to St. James's Park and then they see me and they see the foreign guy, and the fans themselves say, "Wow, you support Newcastle? Why? Well, welcome. You're gonna suffer for the rest of your life." And now it's different. Now, plastic, you start supporting us since takeover. Yeah, we're shit. If I'm plastic, I'll go support Real Madrid.
I remember when you said someone told you in X, Roy, did you go to Crystal Palace?
Yeah. One guy was like, "Oh, you can't criticize. You didn't go to Crystal Palace." I was watching it, and
you said, dear fans, you are not a real fan if you didn't go to Crystal.
Yeah, so this guy's like, "You're not a real fan." Well, I can't go. I live in Qatar. What, you think I'm going to fly every week? I went to one game this season. I said, no, next season I'll just go to one game. I'll just go one game a season, and it's costing me as much as they pay for the
10 season ticket. 10 season ticket for a trip.
Doctor, the flight is what, 3,000, 4,000 dirhams, yeah?
Yes. Now it's more expensive now, 4,000 dirhams.
Now it's more. So you add this. Okay, hotel. We need 4 or 5 days. So that's maybe another 2,000 dirhams. So that's 7,000. Dirham is the same as the Riyal, Saudi and Riyal Qatari. So we're the same. Then the ticket's nothing, 60, 70 pounds, 100 pounds, doesn't matter. So we'll end up spending 7,000, 8,000 riyals or dirhams just to go to watch one game and back. The season ticket is £700-800. Let's say
Yani-
£1,000
Yeah,
in Melbourne.
two season
Stands
tickets
in the-
for one
Yeah.
match.
So we're just going one match, and I'm spending this much. And then the ones who say, "Oh, we go to the away games," they fly EasyJet and stuff when they go to Spain and things. It's like £100, 500 dirhams. It's actually cheaper than me flying to Dubai. So don't say we don't spend. And merchandise. We order stuff all the time online, like new shoes, new jeans, new shirt. I buy 3 every season. It's stupid, but I do. So I buy the 3 shirts every year. Each one is £100. So that's 1,500 dirham or riyal. And shorts and stupid mouse pad and this other stuff. And I'm a member in Magpie Plus. So all this money, we're spending money. So don't come tell me just because you have a season ticket. We had season tickets like 10 years ago. Well, no, it's more. 15 now. But you're not a better fan. One guy told me, he's actually from Doha Max. He used to live here and he left. He's got a season ticket. He said, "Oh, Roy, you're very good. You're a good fan, but you're not a supporter." And I'm like, eh? What's this? And do you need to get a badge saying you're a supporter? Of course, he wants Eddie in. That's why he said this. Because I'm arguing with him and I'm putting the points and he's not putting points. They're still doing the same excuses and he's done this. And every game is anybody's fault except him. Every game. Until we get relegated. Some fans actually on X said,
Yes.
even if Eddie goes down, we want him to stay. This is how sick the cult is. This is Marlon Manson. Not Marlon Manson.
Actually, that's the point. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point, Roy, who make me change my mind when I notice they liking how it's not healthy for the team. They are just emotional. So you can't run a team with being emotional.
Just ask Bournemouth fans if they have Howe instead of Ariola or not, and then you'll get 95% landslide. No.
That's tomorrow question. Inshallah.
Yeah, and by the way, he never beat Bournemouth until now, except in the cup on penalties this season, when Bournemouth had a mixed team, so it wasn't the first 11. So tomorrow, let's see if he beats them for the first time in 4 seasons.
Expectation result tomorrow, right?
I put 1-1, and we have this prediction league. I put 1-1. Inshallah, we win, but my part of me is dead, unfortunately, watching the games now. And I don't know. I just want the season to finish in Europe or not. I just want the season to finish. We'll enjoy the World Cup, and I'm hoping by July 1st there's a new coach. Otherwise, we're just going to go in the same circle. Fool me once, shame on me. No, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is it. And the leopard and the dog. صار كلها أمثال شعبية.
يلا. دكتور أبو عيسى, result tomorrow expectation.
I watched Bournemouth play against Arsenal, and they absolutely played Arsenal off the pitch. Even the Arsenal fans were like shocked how good Bournemouth were. They have Ryan on the left, who actually we were Nixon scouted, but Eddie Howe refused to sign him. 19-year-old Brazilian, lovely player. They play beautiful football, possession based. Tactically, I think we might lose 2-1. I think if we play the way we have been playing, I think Bournemouth might beat us.
I believe it's like Roy, it's going to be a draw, because I can't see Newcastle lose and I can't see Bournemouth lose as well. But maybe Arola effect that he will leaving, I don't know, is it positive or negative for the team? Should be negative. Anyway, thank you, lad. Amazing show. I really enjoy it. A lot of things to discuss that we discussed, and hopefully somebody listen.
Inshallah.
Let's hope we win, even if Eddie stays. Inshallah.
إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله. شكرا لكم متابعة نيوكاسل مع وليد. لا تنسوا طبعا اشتراك متابعتنا وبرضه مشاركة الحلقة. تكلمنا عن أمور كثيرة أتمنى إن شاء الله تكون يعني عجبتكم. ويكند سعيد على الجميع وتصبحون على خير.
السلام عليكم.